I'm Jesse with the Turning Post, and I want to welcome you all back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a duck call, another duck call. And yes, I have done one in the past, but I've changed a little bit. I've got a different hardware that I'm going to be using. In the past, this is my most expensive duck call, and I make my own insert and tone board, and I adjust the tone on it myself. And so with this one, I'm using a 1.5 inch square piece of wood that's 4 inches long. And this tone board right here is about 2 inches. Now the barrel I use is a 2x2 and it's 4 inches long, but the hole here is drilled with a 5/8 inch drill bit. And it sounds really nice. And then one of my lesser expensive duck calls is one that I have a plastic insert. I purchased at Woodcraft, and it's all pre-made for you. You've got a double reed here instead of a single reed, and it's already pretty much tuned for you. So all you have to do is just turn the barrel here, and the barrel again is a 2x2, and it's 4 inches long. And it sounds pretty nice. Then, this is the new one that I've decided to turn. And the difference is, with the tone board, or the tuning board here, or the stopper I should say, it's only 2 inches long. It's still a 1.5 inch square piece of wood, but it's only 2 inches long. And then you have your tone board here that's already made, and it comes in a hardware piece that looks just like this right here. And it also comes with an O-ring here, which fits right here. And so you probably can use a parting tool or even a skew, and you make it the width of it is about 1/16 of an inch, and it helps to make it to be tighter in here. Now what I do is I make this to where it's a friction fit, and I still also use the O-ring. It makes it a lot tighter. Now the difference here also is my drill hole here. It's a 3/4 inch drill bit. And then the other difference is, so that this toning board fits into the stopper, this drill bit right here is a 31/64, and it fits in here, just like so. So what I want to do today, I want to show you how I turn this, and they do turn a lot quicker. Of course it turns a lot quicker than this one, which I have to make myself. And it's in between my two right here. The price-wise is in between them, and it's not as expensive as this one, but it's more expensive than this one. And the reason is because both the stopper and the barrel are made out of wood. So if you will give me a chance, let me get set up here, and we will get to turning. Okay, I'm back now. Now, one of the other things I failed to mention is not only can you do a duck call out of this, but you can also do a deer grunt. And you can make it out of the same 2x2, 4 inches long. And then you also have the same stopper, which is a 2 inch stopper. And you make you have the hardware right here, and you have the long adjustable hose right here. And all you have to do is pop it in. And the tone can be adjusted here. Let's see here. The tone can be adjusted right here with your different markings right here. So I can take it all the way down if I want, which I wouldn't, but you can take it all the way down, And here's what it would sound like, something similar to this right here. So, anyway, it is adjustable, and they're easy to make, and they're fun to make, and they're very reliable. So, anyway, that's another advantage of using this style here. So, first thing we would do is you can drill your holes here. And when you can do it one of two ways. You can put it on your lathe and you can drill your hole, or you can do it on your, if you have a drill press, do it on your drill press. Same way with your stopper here. Now, mounting this, there's two ways to do this. You can either use a 3/4 inch mandrel, which I'm going to use. Take that up and I can tighten this up. Okay. Or they do sell the mandrel sets right here, which comes with an entire set, which consists of these two right here, which are 3/4 of an inch, and you put it in. You use a 7mm mandrel, and you adjust it. You put it in your headstock, and you turn it just like a pin. The only thing is now with the stopper, it's just the 31/64 is just a little bit under a 1/2 inch, so you don't really have a mandrel. So you do have to use this bushing right here that they provide you, which would go in your headstock again, and you just pop this on here, and you tighten it up. And once you tighten this up, it's like a friction fit. It doesn't move. So, and I think, I'm not sure, but I think I want to be demonstrating this at Woodcraft here in the next couple of weeks. And it's a possibility that Woodcraft might be selling this. And if they don't sell it, then I can tell you where you can purchase this. So, let's go ahead and let's start making some sawdust, and let's go ahead and turn this a duck call. So, I always try to always use support. And the way I support it, I bring up my tailstock. I use my tailstock as much as possible. Now, while I'm giving this demonstration, I don't use a respirator, but I always do recommend using a respirator. And I have a respirator, but I should use a face shield, but it's hard for me to talk in that, so I do use these glasses. Use eye protection, and also protect your lungs. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to round this thing over. We'll get this thing round. And to do that, I'm going to use a 1 1/4 inch roughing gouge. I want to get it just round. I don't want to waste any more wood than I have to. I've got a certain profile that I like. And it's not, you know, you might have a different profile, and that's okay. There's no set profile, just whatever you like or your customer likes. That's what I do. I'll be right back. Let me get my digital calipers. Okay, I'm back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start fitting this ring. So what I'm looking for is I like a friction fit on mine. You can glue them if you like. I use epoxy glue when I glue them. But what I do is I measure the inside, which should be 1 1/8. And then I kind of go out probably about 3/16, even a quarter. I go out 1 1/4. And we'll take it 3/16. See what happens. I do know that the width here is 3/8 of an inch. So I go a 1/2 inch. I measure out a 1/2 inch. That gives me a little bit of leeway room in case I make a mistake. And also, once I get the ring fitted, I can clean up that end. Okay. And now I'm going to get a skew. And I'll start fitting my ring. I'm going to use a peeling cut. You can use a parting tool. And to use that peeling cut, I rub the bevel, and when I raise with my back hand, I'm pushing in. If you just take it straight in, you'll just take off, you'll ruin your edge on your tool. I'll start measuring. When I do this, I'm lightly touching my calipers on the wood. Do it too hard, it'll catch on you. I'm just going to do this end right here. I'll take it down to 1 3/16. Okay. Then I'm going to measure now. I'm going to take a look at it and see how it looks on my ring. See how much more I have to go down. Okay. I'll remove my tailstock, and I'll start taking this down. I know I can take this down here. I want to keep his shoulder as square as possible so my ring fits well, fits good. So now I'm going to start fitting the ring. Put a little chamfer here. Take a look. Almost. Okay, that's a little bit too loose for me. So now I haven't wasted any wood, so I won't take it down quite that far. This is probably the part that really takes the longest. You just got to have patience and take your time. Let's see how it looks. A little bit more. Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to fit my ring. Take this off. And to do that, let me get a piece of wood here. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Found a piece of wood. I'll use it instead of banging on my lathe. I'll bang on this piece of wood. I don't want anybody to think I'm abusing my lathe. So now I do have this fits onto my ring, and make sure I've got it, yep, I got it right. It fits in here, so I'm going to use it and I'm going to seat it. Make sure that's seated well. Okay, so we can see that. Fits just fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to clean this all up and put a little chamfer. Now one thing that does do, if I'm not mistaken, it makes that really tight right here because that ring is crushing in on that stop right there. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to clean up this edge right here. And again, to do that, I'm going to use my skew, take little bites. Now, right here, I'm going to put a little chamfer. So it's not a sharp edge. Okay. Now, this is where I do my measuring. I know that I want to go ahead, I want an 1/8 inch shoulder here for this. And then also I want to go back 1/4 of an inch, so that's 3/8. Let's go back 3/8. And now from this back part, I made some adjustments here. I used to take it down 1 inch, but I want to take it only 1 1/4 inch. I want to come out 1/2. And then I want to come out 3/8 from that 1/2 inch. And then from the very back here, I want to go out here 1 1/2 inches. So again, I'm going to pull up my tailstock. Get the support. And okay. Use a parting tool. I want to take this down. I don't want to take it all the way down to the ring. So I'm going to put a little round over on it. I'm going to take all this down to the same level, or the same diameter. Now this side right here, I'm going to take down to 1 1/4 instead of 1 inch. Okay. Again, I'm using a peel cut. Lightly. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, just turn your lathe off and measure. Good. Now I'm going to take this part down almost to the 1 1/4. Okay, I'm going to put an 1/8 inch round over right here. I'm using the Easy Wood beater. And I'm looking at the very top up here. When I see that's round, I'm done. You go any more, it's going to just tear it out. Here we go. And now, right here, I want to have a cove. And to do that, I have a special little tool that I do that with. So I'll raise it up. It's kind of like a little scraper, but I can make my coves with it. I don't want to go too deep. And now, right here, I'm going to start making my profile here. And this right here is where I start to taper down. And with that, I'm going to use a 1/2 inch spindle gouge or 5/8. Start getting my taper. Now I'm using Purple Heart. There's only certain woods I use on my duck calls. It's got to be a hard wood, and African blackwood is one, but you can't even hardly get it anymore. And the other one is Cocobolo, Bacodi. Cocobolo is hard to get if you can get it at all. Purple Heart's one. American Bodark is one. So what I'm using today is Purple Heart. And for my stopper or my insert, I'm using African Blackwood. Now, I'm going to start working on my lanyard. cove. Again, I use my trusty tool here. We just about have this done. Round this over. Okay. Now we're going to do some sanding. I'm going to sand this. I'm going to finish out this front end here. We'll have this one done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this part right here. And when I sand on about less than 1700 RPM. So what I'll do is I'll use 80 grit, clean this up. And then, if I'm profiling, I want to do a little bit more profiling on this. Touch it up. Again, I want to use my 80 grit. For my touch up. On my profile. Get it the way I want it. There we go. Feels good. And now I want to go to my 120. Got 120 grit. And one thing about sanding, you could have marks in it. I mean, that's just the way it is. You're going against the grain or across the grain. And so, take out those marks. You turn off your lathe, and the grit of sandpaper you're using, like right in here, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go with the grain, get those marks out. You do that with each piece of this, each sandpaper that's used, each grit. And I'm only going to take this down to about 400 grit. You can take it down to 600. Some people take it down to 1,000. Here's my 220. Okay, here's my should be my 400. This is why you wear a respirator. So you don't breathe in these dust particles. Okay. That should get it. Okay. Take a look at it. I'm going to take a look at this end over here. Let me see if I want to touch this up. Okay. All right. Now to touch this up, I'm just going to probably use 220. I'll use 120. And 220. Now my 400. Okay. And you know, you might even want to touch it up with a little bit of 4/0 steel wool. All right. So now we've got that completed. I'm going to go ahead and set up for my stopper. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, I've got my stopper on here, 1.5 inch squared, 2 inches long, and I've got it on my bushing, which is this thing right here. So I've got it kind of in the middle to where none of the bushing sticks out. I'm going to tighten it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and round this over. I just want to get it round. Okay. So the length from here to here is 3/8 of an inch. And so what I do, I know it's supposed to be 3/4 of an inch, but I want a tight fit. So I'm going to use a wrench. So I've got a wrench, 3/4 inch wrench. I'm going to make my mark at 3/8. Now I want to use I got an easy wood rougher. I'm not going to take it all the way down to the 3/4 inch. A parting tool. Now I'm going to start fitting my barrel to it. This takes a little bit of time. Doing a duck call, you start learning patience. Not quite. Let's take it down a little bit more. Check it out. Once we get this seated, the rest of it goes really quick. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to twist it, get my mark, so I know where to take it off at. Take it off right here. Okay. See how we look. Okay. Getting there. Okay, got my mark. I want a nice friction fit. Some people ask, why don't you sand it down? Well, I just don't have any luck with sanding it down. Seems like every time I try to sand something down, it goes too far. So I have a better feel with my tools. Oh boy, almost. Almost. Right there at the end. We're just about there. Okay. Okay. I think I'm going to take my skew. And just clean it up, make sure that edge is nice and square. Okay. It didn't take much to see how we did. Yeah, pretty good fit. Got a little loose, but I guess we'll have a backup with the O-ring. So now we'll try to mount this O-ring. A couple ways you can do it. You can either do it with a 1/16 inch wide parting tool, or you can do it with a skew. I want to try doing it with a skew. Let's try that. Let's try this. If I'd have had a little bit more patience, I wouldn't have had to worry about this. A little bit too high. Yeah, got to be a little bit more deeper. So you got that bushing inside here is rubber, or some type of a rubber, which expands it and holds it tight. Okay. So let's take this 1/16 inch. And let's see how we did. Let's see how we did. Okay. little deeper. Not much. See if I can do it without going too deep. Hopefully that got it. It didn't take much. Once we get this done, we're kind of home free. The rest of it goes pretty quick. Got it. All right, now we got that. So now that we got that done, we have that done, now we got to start working on the profile. And you can make your profile any way you want. And to do that, I want to use, I'm going to make my round over here. I'm going to put a bead on it. It's going to be a 1/2 inch. And to do that, I've got the micro detailer. I'm going to round this over. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a different profile here. Now I want to go ahead and I want to kind of hollow this out a little bit. Lower this. And I think to do that, I'm going to use my detail. My easy wood detail. Now, I'm going to round this and true this up. And I want to use my easy wood mid-size #1 hollower for that. This is a tool that is my really go-to tool. I really love it. Oh, that just made it, oh, that's nice. I like it. Now it's sanding time. So let's back our speed off a little bit. A little bit more than that. Okay. And I think all I have to start out with is 120. Now you're asking me, you're probably thinking about the dimensions here. There is no set dimension for me. I like mine to where this insert sits a little bit, let's see if we can get it, sits a little bit below that ring, just about like that. Something close. To me, that's a good fit. Okay. And this groove right here, that can be for my lanyard. When you pay this much for a duck call or even a deer grunt, you want to make sure you don't lose it. And the way you make sure you don't lose it is by having a lanyard groove on both ends, the barrel as well as the stopper. Get our 220 in here. Now the reason I use the hard woods that I use, those 5 types of woods, is that wood expands and contracts, especially when you're out in the elements. So if it does that, it could change the tune or the tone of your duck call. I mean, I've got something I can make real pretty. I use what they call a diamond wood or a spectral ply wood. Different colors of wood. Those are nice. I mean, they look pretty. But they crack easy, and you need to put a ring around them. I always recommend on the barrel putting a ring on it. If not, it could crack on you. So we'll go with the 400. We're just about through with this. All right. Okay. Yeah, you get a piece of I think we're done. All we have to do now is put the hardware on. So we're going to do that right now. It's real simple. This makes it real simple. So, if you look at this, if you look at your reed, okay, you can see right here and get it up close, where it has to be up. If you have it leaning down, you won't get any noise, but it has to be up to where you get where you get a sound. This just pops in here. Let's see how it works. Still a little tight. I want it tight. And there you got it. I'll go ahead and so if by chance you have to change this, I'll just do it with you right now. You would just slide, this slides out real simple. Now let's turn it the other way. Let's see what happens. See if it's down. Okay. You can hear it doesn't work. It just doesn't work because it's pointed down. So all you have to do is just take it, turn it the other way. Slide that in. I don't have it seated all the way. There we go. There you go. There you have it. So, all that's left on this now is to put the finish work on it. And before I do the finish work on it, I take it and I laser on it, put my logo, and if somebody wants their, if they want like a logo or their a monogram put on it, I'll do that for them. Let me go ahead and get cleaned up and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And here's our end result here. This is what the new one looks like. And this is the old one. And I kind of like the new one better. I like my stopper a little bit better than I like this one. And I did a little bit more fine tuning on it, on the where the O-ring is. And it sounds a lot better. And now all I have to do is laser it and then finish it. And when I finish them with water locks. As a matter of fact, there's the marine water locks. And I'll put about 4 coats on it. So anyway, another thing that I noticed is on this end right here, I like it better than this one. This one was an inch in diameter and it just wasn't enough. It's not thick enough. This sounds okay, but I like this one better. And so I'm going to tend to lean toward this one. And we're done. So what I'll do is I'll leave the links down below of what I used and where I get the material. and I hope you all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed doing this with you. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe to my channel. I could sure use your help, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me down in the comments below, and I'll get back with you. So, on behalf of the Turning Post and Easy Wood Tools, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I'll be doing I think my next project, I want to do a deer grunt. And so I'll do one of those, and then it should be here very shortly, and that way it'll give you a chance to get one made for deer season. So again, like I said, on behalf of the Turning Post and Easy Wood Tools, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. I hope to see you all at one of my demonstrations, and I hope to see you all if you sign up for my peppermill class. Thank you, and God bless.